Okay, so we are now here in our next lesson of the parabola, wherein the vertex is at hk. So we have the equation x squared minus 2x minus 4y plus 13 is equal to 0. Now, our main goal here is to express this general form of the parabola, equation of parabola, into its standard equation of a parabola. So we all know there are two standard form of the equation of parabola. You have y minus k squared is equal to 4p x minus h. And the other one is x minus h squared is equal to 4p y minus k. So these are the two standard form of the equation of a parabola, wherein the vertex is at hk. Now, our main goal is to convert or to express this general form into a standard form. So, which means our clue here is to look into a variable wherein the highest exponent is 2. So, practically, kung unsay variable nga gi-squared, mo na atong clue. So, here, ang atong variable dere is x squared. So, which means, in looking into the standard form, the parabola, look into the variable that is squared. So, you have y, and then squared, your x will be squared. So, which means, when you express this general form into a standard form, it will become this one, because your x is squared. Okay, so let's start. Our first step is to combine all the same variables at the left side and the other variable and the constant in the right side. So which means your x squared and x will be at the left side. So you have here x squared minus 2x equals, again, all the other variables except for those not the same are in the right side as well as the constant number. So negative 4y, we transpose it to the right, it becomes positive 4y. And what will happen to positive 13? You transpose it to the right, it will become negative 13. So practically, we have the second step. Our next step is to complete the square of our variable x squared minus 2x. So we all know that in completing the square, the formula is b over 2 squared. So why is it nga mag-completing the square ta dere? So that when you add a certain number, it will become a perfect square binomial. Mo na purpose of having a completing square process. Okay, we all know that the b is actually a number that is beside a variable of x, not x squared. So therefore, your b here is negative 2. So therefore, negative 2 divided by 2 is negative 1. Negative 1, you squared it, it becomes positive 1. So therefore, you get x squared negative 2x plus 1 is equal to 4y minus 13. Again, when you add a certain number in the left side, you also add it in the right side. Rules of quality. So you have here the outcome of completing the square. At this point, we can actually factor this out into a perfect square binomial. So please take note, the outcome of a certain equation, when you do the process of completing the square, it becomes a perfect square binomial. So the trick here is very simple. If it's x squared or x, the variable, you write here as x as a variable. And then the number, asan mo tanawon, is the number that you added. Okay? The number that you added, imo lang is square root. So, ang mong gi-add is 1 man imong square root. So, what is square root of 1? That is equal to 1. Ang sign mo diri sa tunga is the sign of your b. So, what is the sign of your b? That is negative. That is negative. So, therefore, your x squared minus 2x plus 1 is equal to x minus 1 squared. When you review it, when you simplify this one, it becomes x squared minus 2x plus 1. So, in the right side, you just simplify 4y. Negative 13 plus 1, that is equal to negative 12. Okay. So, at this point, again, you get x minus 1 squared. So just factor out the common factor. So the common factor is 4. So factor out 4. So again, the next step, just factor out common factors of 4 and 12. The common is 4. So 4y divided by 4, that is y. Negative 12 divided by 4, that is negative 3. So therefore, your general form becomes now a standard form of the equation of a parabola. So from the standard form of the equation of a parabola, you can now identify the vertex of your parabola. So the vertex, we all know the vertex is HK. Okay? So from the vertex HK, your H is actually on x minus h. So your h is, again, minus. Your h, therefore, is equal to 1. Your k, again, y minus, your k is 3. So therefore, your vertex is equal to 1, 3. After finding the vertex, you also need to find for the focus. So we all know that in the focus of the standard form, so x minus h squared is equal to 4p y minus k, the focus is h, k plus p. So the formula is h, k plus p. So therefore, the value of your h is 1, okay? The value of your k is 3, and you add a value of your p. So how can you find for the value of your p? So we all know that in this side here, that is equal to 4p. So this 4 is also equal to 4p. So how do you find the value of your p? You just simply divide this number by 4. Okay, so whatever number is found in this part, you just divide it by 4. That is how we find the value 4p, just like in our past lesson. So 4 divided by 4, so your p is equal to 1. Okay, you can also get p ahead of this vertex and the vertex as well as the focus, so that di na mo maglisod. So therefore, simplify, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So the focus is actually, the coordinate is 1 and 4. So, aside from the vertex, aside from the focus, we need to also find for the endpoints of the latus rectum. Okay, we need to find for the endpoints of the latus rectum. So, what is the formula in finding for the endpoints of the latus rectum with the standard form x minus h squared is equal to 4p y minus k? So the formula is h plus minus 2p, comma, k plus p. So again, for this standard form, x minus h squared, we all know that the endpoints of the latus rectum is h plus 2p, comma, k plus p. So again, in order for us to arrive, we break it down into two parts. So h in terms of plus 2p. Sorry. Okay. So eraser, comma, k plus p, and the other coordinate is for h for in terms of minus, then k plus p. So your h right now, we all know that is equal to 1, plus 2 times your p. Again, your p is equal to 1. So 2 times 1, that is equal to 2. The value of your k is 3. And your p is 1. Okay. So again, your h is 1. Negative 2 times your p is 1, that is equal to negative 2. I hope I'm not too fast. Okay. Again, your k is 3. And your p is 1. So let's simplify. So 1 plus 2 is equal to 3. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So one of the endpoints is 3 and 4, while the other endpoint is 1 minus 2, that is equal to negative 1. 3 plus 1 is equal to 4. So these are the endpoints of the latus rectum. So we have the vertex, the focus, the endpoints of the latus rectum, and we need to also find for the directrix. So these are the things that we need to find: the vertex, the focus, the endpoints of the latus rectum, and the directrix. So in order for us to find for the directrix, the formula to find for the directrix, since we all know that its standard form is x minus h squared, the opposite of that is the directrix. So the directrix is in terms of y. Okay, so that is in terms of y is equal to k minus p. Okay, so therefore, again, this is the formula for the directrix in terms of x minus h squared 4py minus k. So the directrix is y is equal to k minus p. So we all know that your k, again, your k is equal to 3. Again, your k is equal to 3 minus your p, again, is equal to 1. So therefore, your y is equal to 3 minus 1, that is equal to 2. So again, your directrix y is equal to 2. So these are the important things that you need to look: the vertex, the focus, the endpoints of the latus rectum, as well as your directrix y is equal to 2. So again, we need to graph the parabola as well.